Ah, shit. Well, anyways, hello. Welcome to day 680 of eating a sheet of paper today, or eating a sheet of paper a day, and I have some bad news. We are officially out of toilet paper, or out of toilet paper that my parents are willing to let me consume for recreational purposes. So they say, which is bullshit because this is more than just recreation, all right? This is obviously serious business, and I take it very seriously. It's more than just a stupid on the side hobby. This is my life. But with that said, we have an emergency backup plan. This is the Bob Ross sticky notes, which is great because I have a whole tactic with sticky notes. The particular chemicals inside the sticky part of the sticky notes, the adhesive, is harmful. However, I have a particular tactic where I simply fold the inside of the sticky notes so that it's on the inside of the ball of sticky note that I am eating with my mouth. And with that, because paper generally comes out the same way it came in, and the sticky notes actually have chemicals in them that prevent it from being further dissolved and absorbed nutrient-wise through my body. So when it comes out, none of the sticky note shit, the actual adhesive, will actually touch my innards or will be absorbed by my innards. Win fucking win. So I want to just quell the concerns of those who are going to make a big deal out of me eating sticky notes with ink on it. First of all, it's a Bob Ross sticky note. Second of all, fuck you. And third of all, I have my practice tactic. It's all good. See, right here. 7 out of 10. Had nice time with my mother and currently making groovy mosquito tunes. You're still working on that project. I expect for it to be above 45 minutes when it comes out. As for me, I'm going to put a solid 6.7. It's all good. Where? Okay. All right, we're good. Eat a blue sticky note? Well, all of them are a little blue, except for the one that's shaped like a canvas. We have the sky with Bob in the background doing his thing, looking very lusty, just at the kind of lower region of the sky. He looks like he really wants to shove that brush in there. We have the normal canvas, very boring, might eat one of those. And then we have these really weird ones, very thin. You can't write shit on there. I don't know what these are even. Oh, they're like bookmarks. I get it. Right? When you're marking a dictionary to remember where aardvark is, that's what these are for. And he does say that. Let's get a little crazy here. One thing that troubles me, and I hate being part of those Twitter people who just because somebody did a less than favorable or immoral activity, I have to hold it against them by refusing to purchase their shit. It's like, if it's on the market, I don't give a fuck. They're going to profit anyways. I'm not going to think that I'm special and can create a giant wave of people not buying stuff. People are going to consume Bob Ross merchandise anyways. With that said, though, the Bob Ross merchandise, Bob Ross was kind of like Robin Williams with Aladdin. He never wanted for it to happen. In fact, notoriously, when he had his cancer and he could barely stand up and his legs were like the thickness of pencils, he still stood up, got on the rotary phone, and yelled at the lady who manipulated him into selling all of his rights. And now his son is trying to put a stop to it to no avail. I'm sure everybody's seen that documentary. The album that's in the works, I think, is about 50 minutes with 9 songs. Jesus, these are some fucking packed songs. I'm genuinely trying to make interesting music while still being wacky. Keep note, I will be very critical, so I'll have my ear tapped in. You have my interest. Mosquito Core. I will say, if Caden's pessimistic about one thing, it's about that particular creative endeavor. So tread lightly, but also mosquitoes can fly. So do your thing. How do condoms taste like? Okay, Buff Engie, I guarantee you that picture's photoshopped. They taste fine. I believe there is a video called Big Penis Pete Asserts His Masculinity. In that video, which is about 1 minute and 50 seconds, I eat both a piece of a stick of deodorant and a condom all in one. The condom tasted significantly better. Maybe that was a way of me convincing myself that condoms tasted good. I'm just trying to, put an evil next to a lesser evil. All right, that's how it works. I don't care about Caden's thoughts on my music. He doesn't get it. I'm ahead of the curve and all my music's perfect. I like that mindset. We'll put that claim to the test in T minus 5 minutes to 5 years. That's my average span on when I think that your album's going to come out. If you take more than 5 years, I'm officially disengaging. Have you ever tried book paper? Yeah. I used to eat New York Times newspapers. That's not really a book, but they generally use the same chemicals. Deodorant does not taste good. Yeah, fucking tell me about it. Never again. People say it's the best. Book paper? Fuck no. Printer paper is always the best. I have tried book paper. Tastes like grandma's ashes. Always going to stick with printer paper. Less is more, all right? It kind of has that Ritz cracker energy to it. You know, it's not the most flavorful thing in the world, but as long as you don't leave it, you know, on a warm windowsill with mosquitoes for however long, 15 minutes or 15 days, it will taste good, texture-wise, taste-wise. Just don't mess it up. Make sure you get relatively fresh printer paper. I'm assuming we're excluding the good word. Absolutely not. I have eaten a sheet of Holy Bible paper, and that stuff is extremely thin to the point where it breaks apart in my mouth, and it does a similar effect to toilet paper, where toilet paper doesn't absorb moisture. It doesn't have the volume to do that. Neither does Bible paper. This paper is thick and firm, created and sold by the people at Staples. And the people at Staples know how to make firm paper. I don't know what sort of incel presses the fucking pages of a Holy Bible, but whatever it is, it has not nearly enough volume to contain the water or whatever fluid I'm drinking to swallow it, or even my own saliva, without any chaser. I've chewed on printer paper before and had the taste of a subtle kind of salty taste. Yeah, exactly. Whatever they make it with, it's ethically sourced, and on top of all that, they always find the perfect mix, you know, on the off chance that a member of the extremely niche community of paper reading comes in and decides to take a bite. Let's finish this. Because these are a little smaller than the 3-ply squares of toilet paper, we're going to have to aim for 6 of these, or 10 of each of these, or 8 of each of these. Or we could basically do a thing of here 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 1 there. So you could basically do 3 of these, 2 of these, and then 1 of each of those little bookmark things. And then I think we have ourselves the quota equivalent of a full sheet, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, all right? Which you're not going to, because I'm right. Do a little one. I'm doing a little bit of everything over here. That. I feel like they could have come up with a more profound Bob Ross quote on the bottom of here, other than "I like mountains." It just sounds like a caveman. That sounds like caveman speak. Better eating paper than throwing it away. EEYYYY. I don't know if that's an acronym or whatever, but yeah, no, I think throwing away paper is very wasteful. You could eat it. So, you know, let's see. We're going to do small ones first, you know, get them out of the way. They are the most expendable pieces. I do not care about them. And viewer request. I encourage everybody, by the way. I do a bunch of Letterboxd reviews, and yes, flame me already. And by the way, Ian, let's shout out to Ian. He's the one who got me on that app. I always wanted a good app for reviewing movies. I was just skeptical of it at first because I didn't trust Ian because he's weird. But, you know, it's fine. Got a good app underneath my belt now. And I do reviews of movies frequently. And by frequently, I mean like maybe 4 or 5 times a week. And I normally don't post them or bring any extra attention to them, but I did watch Aftersun. I gave it 4.5 stars. It's not the highest rating I've given for a movie. However, I do think that movie is not getting enough appreciation. So I do think, it's a sparkling apple Izzy. I encourage everybody who has eyes, ears, nose, and even mouths to go and watch that movie, Aftersun. Very good movie. It's from last year. It's by Charlotte Wells. There are some lesbian references in there, but ignore that and get past it. Deal with it and ignore the lesbians. And you'll actually notice that underneath the lesbian shit, there's really good story writing. I am also jerking on your assholes because the lesbian stuff only takes up like 2 minutes of the movie. It's like a really minor plot point. They shoehorned it in because they decided to be super inclusive and all that shit. But the lesbian part is super inconsequential. In fact, it's so inconsequential that if you go on Instagram and you look at my review of the movie, you'll notice that I didn't even mention the lesbian part once. So, okay. I licked metal when I was very young, and it kind of tasted like beer. I don't know what your taste in beer is, but you should probably drink beers that don't taste like metal. So I know what metal tastes like. I have bled inside of my mouth before, and I have done the stereotypical Christmas Story style sticking my tongue on a frozen pole back when I lived in Oregon. So I'm doing pretty good, Sailor. If you scroll up every single day or night, I guess, we put our scores for the day. So the way it works is 5 is the average score. So, a very unremarkable but not terrible day would be a 5. And however, because of my general optimism and trying to put on a happy face for everybody, I kind of adjust the scale secretly. So it's kind of like the average is a 7.5 to an 8, but no one else is supposed to know about that. So, whatever. You don't need to know everything that goes on inside my head. But yeah, 6.7. You can interpret that however you like. And adjust that scale. Make sure to round up or down to the nearest tenths place. You guys took 3, or no, you guys took elementary school. Sorry, I'm reading the comments. I've released 4 album as already 3rd year, Brian, and 3 EPs. Oh yeah, you had that weird album with Caden. I don't know whose album that was. It was either yours or Caden's. And I know that you guys, like specifically Caden, begged for me to have a feature on it, so I did. I don't even remember what it was about. I remember I wrote it in like 30 seconds, and it was really insignificant, and it was not very good. But excuse me, I remember that it was a bunch of copy and pasted beats that he got from like YouTube. Now, Ian, I hope that you're actually producing your own stuff, which I think if it's taking this long, it better be. Because I mean, like, this whole Krusty Koob thing, like, Caden started making that like really suspiciously after Dom and I started publicizing our retrospective introspective project, and it was completed. I know I never mentioned this. I don't think. It was kind of just between Dom and I, but now that enough time has passed, and I'm like, okay, that was a little strange. When did Caden get that idea? Was it coincidentally before we made that announcement, or after I made the big publicizing of that? And Caden was very obviously tapped in that he then decided to start making that project. I do not know. All right. Another question. Does the paper dissolve in your stomach, or does it just shrink down and stay in there forever? Neither. Actually comes out the same way it came in. I've said this a million times before. When I come out, when I'm taking a shit, that's a normal shit. However, that's the sound of paper getting squeezed out because it's crumpled up and it makes noise, a very particular noise at that. And my impersonation is 100% accurate. When you hear that noise, just know the paper is leaving the hatch. You've already done the mosquito thing, have you? Am I going to be able to find it by chance? Whether it's a waste of time or not. Hey, your fear of it being bad needs to be eradicated. It'll become a self-fulfilling prophecy. The worse you think your project's going to be, even if you have it creeping in the back of your head just a little bit, and you think it's not there, or you think you're successfully ignoring it, if you have that suspicion that it's going to be bad, it's going to be bad. So have 100% faith in it while at the same time having fun. The parts that are supposed to be shit. Like not stuff that you compensate for later by saying, oh, that was supposed to be bad. The whole thing's supposed to be bad. When you're trying to make a at least somewhat serious project, the aspects of it that you're doing, right? Because everything that you create as a part of your art is a result of action or even inaction, but all of it's still intentional or unintentional. It's still a choice you make to either let something kind of glide out of your view so you can kind of just let it be whatever the hell it's going to be. It can be accidentally good or whatever when not left to your devices. But I don't think my newer stuff is bad. Okay, that's good. I'm just saying, any lack of confidence you might have, you got to keep that in check. But like, when Dom and I were making retrospective introspective, it was just being overshadowed by when I would do paper streams at his house when we were in the studio, recording all the parts. And Dom would just be like, dealing with Caden in the chat, and I think there's this general energy because a big reason why Dom saw you guys as Parasites is because you guys started making that album suspiciously right after we started. So, oh shit, dropped that on the floor. So I'm not sure whose idea that was, but whatever it was either inconvenient or predictably copycat. I don't know what exact. Well, what I know there's an adjective that exists that can describe what a copycat is. I don't want to say unoriginal because that's too far. But I mean, come on, guys. You guys could have waited like a week, but you guys made it so obvious. I used to release stuff 3 years ago, and I decided to go perfectionist mode for my next project, so it's taken a few years. I haven't even started making any new musical. I would love to. However, my new goal is I produce all my own shit. I mean, I have been, I guess, is the idea. And when I started producing actual music on GarageBand for my first album, the Quadruple A album, that album was so bad. But there are parts of it that production-wise I'm legitimately proud of. However, I want for it to be transitioned into a new medium, right? Kind of like how I purchased OBS on accident. I want to kind of get Logic Pro, which will cost me upwards of $200. So we're going to have to wait on that. But if/when I'll be able to afford it, which should not be in the too distant future, I probably will have a much better platform to produce because that's what I use with Dom, and that's what Dom used for most of his projects, his own projects. That's what a lot of other artists use, what some of the top-notch fellas use. So, I didn't even know about you when we were making our stuff on Krusty Koob. That fucking name, man. But if Caden did that on purpose, I didn't know about it. Yeah, I mean, if that was Caden's decision, then especially him back then, I know that, I mean, according to him, he's chilled out, and also externally, I can see he's a little calmer now, even though he's a little more clicky and indirect. He used to be kind of that, he was playing the happy-go-lucky kid in real life, he was walking around without care in the world. Now he's a lot more kind of like reserved and clicky, but he on the internet, he's like flipping it around. So, and this is not a criticism of him by any means. I just think that it's interesting. Just interesting how the cookie crumbles. But yeah, if Caden had more creative control over when he brought the idea up or when he decided to collaborate with you, which I guarantee you 100% is what actually happened, then that makes more sense. Okay, we're almost at the end here, and we're at 20 minutes, so time-wise, paper-wise, we're approaching our quota. But here. But yeah, my position on it is like, I'm sure I have potential as a producer. It's just I've had no time. I'm split between other musical endeavors, which is the jazz shit, and I've gotten pretty proud of my contributions to the jazz community and all that, because before I was a gigging musician, but nothing I played. I didn't like the orchestral stuff or none of that. And now I'm actually running my own bands. I'm a band leader now. And, I don't get along with every member of the band, and I'm not the best leader in the world, but hey, I'm leading a band. I mean, that's unusual, even for a jazz musician. I don't know how that fucking happened, but I'm running stuff, setting set lists. I have like 5 gigs next month. They will pay pretty well. Not like I'm playing at the Met or anything. I'm not getting paid $2,000, but I'm getting paid upwards of $100 per gig on average if people tip well. So old people in Carlsbad area, please stuff your pockets and aimlessly walk around looking for good music. All right, you'll find it. And plus, I'm juggling a job and school along with all that, and making YouTube videos and doing these paper streams. And on top of that, trying to not make my entire life just work. I'm trying to do some sort of recreation on top of all that, even though ideally making videos should be my recreation. Again, a work in progress. A great solution to that is to meld some of the things named, right? School, job, and then other job as jazz musician, which is multiple jobs. And then maybe perhaps purchasing Logic Pro, which needs to happen through working my job, which gives me money. And then other recreational stuff, making YouTube videos, doing paper streams, right? So it's like, I feel like it's understandable how I haven't really been producing too much music recently, but I could, and I would love to. It's always very fun. For the time problem, the solution is to stay up till 2 to 4 a.m. What the fuck is wrong with you? This is exactly why people catch the paper streams like right now, and they're always so fucked. I can only imagine your dark circles. Like I said, I don't know about the timing or whatever. It's up on all platforms, and it's awesome. Would that be Spotify? Because I refuse to use SoundCloud, because every time I go on SoundCloud, I catch a new disease. I got sick last time I listened to Impossible Project online. I can't believe that guy conned me into listening to his shit again. I think I did listen to your thing like a long time ago, but I remember none of it. I misspelled that. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, here we go. And who the fuck are all these guys? All right. Yeah, okay. Now I know who this is. Yeah, it's very obvious. Guth the Goblin. All right. Play Meth. That's the wrong song. Whoops. All right, this is the chosen highlighted pick from Ian, the artist himself, on what to listen to. So this is the representation of his music that he wants to give us. All right, keep that in mind. Is that Guthrie with the okay? Now, if you look at this album cover, right? If you listen to I know I'll listen in a second, but if you look at this album cover and then you go over here, I'm noticing lots of very obvious resemblances. Wearing your influences on your sleeve, I can see. Don't even like Cemetery. I can spot similarities, and album cover similarities can represent other things. You have official fan now, Ian. Buff NG. Make sure to go to Mosquito Lover 77 on Spotify or all platforms, I guess. Make sure it's in all caps and no spaces, exactly like a Pornhub account would be, right? So it's kind of simulating a more informal account style. I don't even listen to Cemetery. I don't even know what the fuck. What does Cemetery sound like? Very similar. Okay. No, I get it though. I get what this is going for. I get it's going for. I feel like this album cover in like 10 years is going to just be completely indecipherable and no one's gonna know what the fuck is happening. Or it'll actually look like a big Chungus meme. It'll just look really dated and everyone's gonna know what it is and it'll just be like, or not. We'll never know. That was pretty good. I like that. Well, Ian, I can tell you're approaching a less polished and more underground, gritty, I'll show you, Mom. I will paint a penis on my wall type attitude. I like that. Show the man. You're not like the other 4'11" rappers. Absolutely. You're welcome, Ian. Oh, shit. Before I eat this last paper, my thesis for the day is very simple. It's actually homework. I'm so sorry. A homework assignment. Oh, no. Can I show you some music I composed tomorrow? Remember, streams every night. I know. I got to fucking go to bed. I am very tired. Look at this. Look at this. That's not the shadow from my eye. That's my actual eye skin. It's bad. I've been spending late nights. I know, right? Hey, see you on the next one, all right? I'll see you tomorrow. That'll be day 681. Thank you very much for watching today's Eating a Sheet of Paper a Day. Make sure to live, laugh, cry, and also not die. And until next time, this is goodbye. Fuck, that didn't work. God damn it. God. Goodbye. End stream. There you go.